The invention of the smartphone and mobile computing has forever changed the landscape of how information is communicated. Now, everybody has the power of the internet in their palm or even on their wrist. Here, in this survey result from the Pew Research Center, we can see that over 64% of Americans own a smartphone, with 15% of them having limited access to the internet. This creates a 7% overlap of users who primarily use a smartphone to access the internet. In this age when everybody is mobile, it is important to employ good elements of design in the creation of mobile websites and applications. In this presentation, I will review some basic design principles for mobile pages and some uses for different mobile applications. Here we can see a quick reference sheet of basic design elements. Both websites and mobile apps utilize these concepts in their designs. Aesthetics play an important role alongside functionality in the development of good user-centered design. You can't have a good-looking application without it looking the part, and some of these design elements we will be exploring today in this presentation. When designing for a mobile device, ergonomics are important. You must pay attention to the sides of the screen and the sides of the device. The average human fingertip is between 1 and 2 centimeters wide. This is important to consider when designing the hit area, which is the space you press to activate something on an app or website. This is just one example of designing for the user in mind. Gestures are an important part of mobile application development. These graphics here show examples of multi-touch gestures designers need to consider in the development of their sites and applications. This matches one of Jakob Nielsen's 10 heuristics for design, which is flexibility and efficiency of use. Primary navigation is how your users will be able to get around your site and should match the information that is available. Here we have two examples of navigation. Starbucks on the left uses what we call an expanding menu, while Amazon utilizes a tabbed menu. The expanded menu functions by using a menu icon that is contained in the header. Tapping the icon shows a list of main menu items. The tabbed menu functions by having items at the bottom and having the user select those icons from the bottom and keeping everything contained on the lower part of the screen. Here are two more examples of primary navigation on a mobile page. To the left is the side menu method. As with the expanding menu, you will often press an icon with a series of lines or slide the screen over. This then expands or slides open the menu, showing a list of menu options down the side of the screen. On the right is the hub and spoke menu, a centralized home screen which allows the user to select a menu option. This navigates the user to this section, which has its own internal navigation pattern. And the user is able to return to the home screen by activating a backlink, which also follows Nielsen's heuristics of having a backdoor or an escape for the user in case they get lost. Color is very important for mobile design. Color can be used to separate and distinguish elements on a page. It could also be used to indicate when a status changes, for instance, hovering or clicking on a button. Here you can see examples of color in action on 4 different mobile sites. Utilizing metaphor can surprisingly be an effective method in visual design on a mobile application. This is the Flipboard app. It utilizes a literal flip transition, which is crucial to the success of the application. Metaphors can also be applied to buttons and icons on a page. In this instance, we can apply what we call skeuomorphism. This is the design concept of making items represent and resemble their real-world counterparts. It is a popular technique in design. Flatter designs might be called for depending on the requirements of the client. Color and styling would need to be differentiated from static items on the page. Responsive design is a crucial component of the website design process. Responsive design is the successor in mobile thinking from the original mobile-friendly sites. Responsive design is an easier solution for designers, allowing them to move away from designing different websites for every platform and instead focus on designing sites that scale differently on different platforms. They do not need to maintain 2 separate platforms and can instead focus on presenting a single well-designed page that can be adapted for different mobile platforms. So after reviewing some of those design techniques, who is using these applications and for what reason? In this graphic from the Pew Research Center, we can see how users are best describing their relationship with their phone. 46% of the users in the survey reported being unable to live without their phone. 70% showed that they felt their phone was freedom, while only 30% felt it was a leash holding them down. Clearly, our phones are becoming invaluable in our lives for many reasons beyond simply communicating via a phone call, and many Americans are relying on their phones on a day-to-day basis. This is a ranking of popular smartphone features that users utilize. Texting, calling, web browsing, and email are top applications users are employing on their phones. Mobile-friendly web design is crucial to success for any company that is looking to have a web presence. Users spend most of their time when they aren't communicating via text or phone calls engaging with the internet. Mobile applications are becoming very popular in the education field. As they say, if you can't beat them, join them. Bring your own device is becoming a popular trend where schools are both allowing and encouraging students and teachers to use their devices as a means of learning. According to a review study by the International Forum of Educational Technology, mobile technologies gradually facilitate and enhance learners' interaction by means of accessing, discussing, and sharing associated information through social networks. We have also seen a growing usage of mobile applications and sites in the medical field as well. Here are examples of a medical app on an iPad and one on an iPhone. Medical professionals are being equipped with mobile technology for rapid communication with colleagues, diagnosis, treatment, and even remote surgeries. Mobile banking has become a major player in the mobile application market. Most major banks now have mobile sites and applications for customers to check account balances, transfer funds, and open new accounts, and even deposit checks. 57% of users cited in the previously mentioned Pew survey indicated that they use their phone for mobile banking. Our phones have become our co-pilots in the car and on the street. Navigation apps such as Google Maps and Waze have put the power of GPS into our palms. We could use our phones to locate a restaurant, start navigation to the restaurant, and make a reservation for a table before arriving, all from a single application. The ability to take pictures and video has been a feature of phones since prior to the smartphone era, but never have the options for manipulating and changing video and pictures been so vast. This image shows an example of a video editing application for an Android platform. Something that used to only be available to a user with room for a ton of computer equipment can now be fit onto a 5-inch screen and offer many of the same features as its desktop counterparts. These are just a few of the types of applications that are available for mobile. Hopefully this presentation has given you some good insights into mobile design principles and the variety of ways that we could use these well-designed applications on our smartphones.